So in this video, I want to demonstrate that we can use technology to conduct a hypothesis test for the example that we just finished in the previous video. So here we had our null hypothesis that mu equals 1.68, our alternative hypothesis that mu is greater than 1.68. We had a sample mean of 1.682 inches. We had a sample standard deviation of 0.006 inches. We had a level of significance of 0.05, and we had a sample size of 40. So I can conduct this hypothesis test using technology, using either the TI calculator or StatCrunch. And so I'm going to show you how to use both of those. So if I bring in my calculator, we're going to go to Stat and Tests, the same as we did when we were conducting a hypothesis test for a proportion. But in this case, we're doing a hypothesis test for a population mean, so we're going to use option 2, the t-test. So when I go to t-test, I get a window and I have two possibilities for inputting information. I can either have data or I can have statistics. Well, in this case, we have statistics, not data. If we did have data, we would have to enter the data into one of the lists, say L1, and then we would choose that option and tell the calculator where we input the data. Next, we're going to enter our mean from the null hypothesis, which in this case is 1.68. We're going to enter our mean from the sample, which was 1.682. And we're going to enter our standard deviation, which was 0.006. Our sample size was 40, and we're going to choose our alternative hypothesis, which in this case was greater than, and calculate. So when we calculate, I get 2.108 for the test statistic, which is the same value that we got when we calculated it by hand right here. And I get a p-value of 0.0207, which is the same p-value that we got right here. We got 0.0208, so we had a little bit of a rounding issue, but that is our p-value, 0.0207. Now, we still have to know what to do with that. So if we're using the p-value approach, we need to know to compare 0.0207 to the 0.05, and since it's less than 0.05, we'll reject the null hypothesis. If we are using the classical approach, we need to know to compare the 2.108 to the 1.685, and since it's to the right of that, we reject. Now we can do the same kind of thing in StatCrunch. So in StatCrunch, I'm going to go to Stat and T-Stat. In this case, we have one sample, and we have summary information. Now this is the same place where we went when we were doing confidence intervals involving the population mean. So I'm going to enter in the sample mean, which was 1.682. I'm going to enter in the sample standard deviation, which was 0.006. I'm going to enter in the sample size, which was 40. And then in this case, we're going to do a hypothesis test. So I'm going to keep the bullet selected here for the hypothesis test. Again, this is the same spot where we were before for confidence intervals. I'm going to enter in the value for the hypothesis test, which is 1.68, and I'm going to enter the greater than symbol for the alternative hypothesis. And when I say compute, I get the test statistic, which is 2.108. Again, that agrees with our by hand computation, and that agrees with our calculator computation. And then I also have the p-value, 0.0207. which agrees with our calculator computation as well. So this is how we can get the calculations for our test using technology. But again, we still need to know what to do with the results. So again, the technology gives us the test statistic, the technology gives us the p-value, but we still have to know what to do with those.